Yo,
Austin.
Jake, you sound like really, really low on my side.
Do I sound low to you guys?
You sound fine.
Okay.
A tiny bit, but like it's still
You got a
hearable.
little bit louder now at that time, but that first time was lower on the way.
Okay.
Mhm.
Anyway, welcome everyone into our
Yeah.
podcast tonight.
This is a little bonus edition of Monday night because we didn't have enough time to do any of the comics.
Yeah, sorry guys, we couldn't talk about gay elves on Monday. Dude, Elf Quest is such
You got
an
a lot of nerve.
interesting book. Interesting book.
Whatever you say,
Mhm.
pervert.
Do. Yay. And you got anything you guys want to talk about before we start?
Stay safe. If you care about spoilers, stay off the internet. I guess I don't,
Mhm.
but I don't know.
The new era of gamers can't play old platforming games.
Yeah, I found out a lot of Sonic fans, even old era Sonic fans, can't play Sonic anymore. I don't know what it is. Apparently, they don't know how to play a Sonic game anymore. If you think Sonic Superstars is a hard Sonic game, I don't know what to tell you. You're either new or you're terrible at platforming. I don't know.
You're a fraud.
Yeah.
You're a fraud.
Because Sonic Superstars is
Sonic just left the old generation behind, you know?
They didn't leave the old generation behind. It's like fans were complaining that the games were too easy, so they made a DLC for another game that was hard, and then they made Sonic Superstars, which is just a little bit harder, but it's not any harder than any other classic Sonic game. Pretty standard. But everyone on the internet's like, "This game is so hard! Oh my god!" And I'm like, it's easy. Granted, the final boss is actually hard. Don't get it twisted, but also this was a hard game. I'm like, damn, bro, y'all kind of trash. I ain't gonna lie to you.
Oh,
Y'all just suck.
Yeah, you really do. I don't know what to tell you.
Also, there's a new Twisted Wonderland Halloween event, and it's so cool. They personified the main villains from Pinocchio, so that's cool. The foxes, yeah, those guys.
Okay.
Yeah, and basically some of the students go to this carnival kind of thing, and they're slowly being turned into puppets. And of course, Bella's
Are
gonna
people
be
being turned
wearing
into
super
donkeys?
high heels. Huh?
I think they should be turning into donkeys, like Pinocchio.
No, to our current knowledge, they're being turned into like puppets. I mean, especially Ortho, since he's like a robot, but don't worry about Ortho. But in the English servers, we still have the Glorious Masquerade, so we're gonna have to wait a year. So, yeah. I'm living. I'm thriving.
Also, the Hellboy game came out as well. The Hellboy comic book game.
Ooh. Nice to see
It looks good. I don't know if it plays good though.
Well, it's just nice to see Hellboy getting some spotlight.
It's weird to say that he has a game before Spawn got a game.
Spawn has a game.
Back in the 90s, he did.
No, I'm talking about a new game though.
Oh, okay.
Spawn is still like super popular. He's probably like the most popular character that isn't Marvel and DC. Don't know comics, no Spawn. Something.
Yeah.
And all he has is a bad movie and a good show to his name in the 90s.
That just shows how sturdy the fan base is, you know? When you can get through all that, yet Spawn is still a consistent seller, you know? Like, I don't know anybody who reads Spawn, but these books still sell miraculously.
Also, you guys ready for the FNAF movie next week?
I think only me and you are interested. Which ain't gonna lie to you.
What do you mean?
FNAF is Five Nights at Freddy's.
I'll watch it.
It's a video game.
Oh, God, I have so many movies I have to catch up on too. I still plan to watch Saw X. I just didn't have the time,
I
you
honestly
know.
don't plan on watching Saw X.
If you get a chance, take your niece or nephew to see this movie.
Why?
It's a horror movie for kids. It's based off a kids game, horror game.
Oh, you're talking about Five Nights at Freddy's, right?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Gotcha.
So if you do that, we tell us what their reaction is, and we can talk about it when we review it, since they are the main like demographic for the games and movie.
Okay. Now it'll just depend if I actually have time to go watch it with them, you know.
Yeah, because you're an
Seriously.
old man.
R.I.P.
But no, seriously, October is has just been one of the busiest months of my life this year because I have like 3 birthdays, including my own, that happened this month. I had Comic-Con week, and I have a friend from out of town who's going to be spending the week with me right now. So, yeah. Oh, yeah, also my father came back from his trip from Bolivia, so it's like I have 2 roommates with me now. Yep.
Okay. Yeah.
All right, guys. I mean, with that, I guess we could just go on. So, all right. Welcome to Comic Fanatic live stream. You're here with me, Cryptid Seeker 415. I ain't giving 2 new intros in a week. Go ahead.
This is Jake Tylenol, the one who will swing the queens tonight.
Mm-hmm.
So,
That's Austin's intro. Witch, your turn.
Okay, I'm Richter, also known as the Witch of Jotunheim, pronouns they, he, and both Eli Bradley and David Elaine are coming back next year. Woo!
Yay, Eli Bradley.
Patriot and Prodigy, by the way.
Yay.
Okay. But let's get started.
what you know about Patriot?
So
I'm a
from-
young Avengers fan, man. What the fuck
So
is
from
wrong?
my understanding, this is our cleanup week because I
Yes.
don't know if you guys know this, we talk a lot. So sometimes it's not enough time for everything. So this is the cleanup week for comic reviews. So
Yep. And keep in mind, we had New York Comic Con last week, so we were bound to have a buttload of topics, media, and comic news to talk about. You know?
Yes, sir.
So, alrighty then. Let's not waste any time. Austin, I know you've been waiting for this. Go ahead.
Don't lie. No. Don't say that. I didn't even want to do this book. I told Jake I didn't want to do this book.
he
What?
did, those words did come to my ears at one point.
Oh,
Then you
man.
go read Hot Topic. I specifically did not want to read this book anymore.
Oh,
No.
okay, so I guess I'm going to opening it up. Okay. Amazing Spider-Man.
No, I'll talk about it. I'll talk about it. I was just saying I didn't want to do it, but we're here now. So
Okay. So do
Amazing
it, man.
Spider-Man number 35.
The
Basically,
the finale.
it's basically the cleanup chapter of this whole arc, the finale of this whole little arc,
Hmm.
with no real consequences except for Tombstone almost died, and some we'll talk about later. But you see, Norman is in his lab. He's trying to rebuild the spear. He's with Craven, but he's having this inner monologue, and you see him doubting himself, but you also see remnants of the Goblin dialogue affecting him as he got the regular text box and the green text box. And Craven is just judging the mess out of him the whole time for some reason.
Hmm.
Tombstone, not Tombstone. What is Tombstone? Tombstone survives.
Okay.
He didn't die. He's just a random pedal who's standing up. Yeah, he woke up in his hospital and just murdered everyone there. That's messed up.
This issue so far sounds like Peter's get back, but he didn't actually get anyone back.
So this whole run supposed to be, this whole era supposed to be his get back, and it just L after L after L. So he's talking to Goblin Queen. That's her name, right, Gribbit?
Yeah, Goblin Queen.
He's talking to Goblin Queen. They're fighting. It's so weird that Paul just knows Peter Spider-Man. It still just throws me off. I keep reading that he knows. Spider-Man's eyes long with fiery sin power. He hits, he pulls off the railing from like the side of a cliff. There's like one of those turns on the side of a cliff where they got a little girder railing. He pulls it off and
Yeah.
hits Goblin Queen, sends her flying. Mary Jane tells Paul to run, and Peter says, "Where you get that thing? Where you get superpower? Oh, he gave it to you?" And she's like, "I'm a big girl, Peter. He didn't take me." He's like, "Oh, so you left me then? All right, that's fine too. I'll just still just kill you. It doesn't matter." Goblin Queen comes back in because I guess Peter isn't. It kind of feel like Peter's throwing his is not going all out, even though he should be.
Nah, he's savoring this
Because we know for a
moment.
fact, like full power Spider-Man should be throwing these people.
No, it's like remember when
Full power Spider-Man should be like knocking these people out.
remember when the Flash turned evil in the show, and then he instead of just beating up Green Arrow and killing him, he took like little pot shot punches, and I'm like, just kill him. But that's what this is.
Yeah,
Mhm.
yeah, but I understand. It's just funny because like they're supposed to be Green Goblin Peter, so you expecting like he wants to kill Mary Jane, and the Goblin Queen keeps stopping. You think he was just like one punch and knock this woman out? We saw she literally just died to regular Norman last arc.
Mhm.
Oh, you know what would be better?
At the end of the Gold Goblin arc, she died to Norman getting choked out. He broke her neck.
It would be better if like every time he punched somebody, like he broke a bone or something, just to show how different he is. Like, just like breaking a bone, just to torture them a little bit. Like you can't move now. Now I got your cord. You know what I mean? Something like that.
Well, he kind of did that with Norman, but Norman had the Goblin serum which heals him, even though it didn't drop him the same.
Okay. Well, there you go.
But Peter's fighting Goblin, the Goblin Queen, she burns him up. But it doesn't. She sets him on fire. Doesn't really do damage. It wants to smash. Mary Jane saves him with her new, let's say, gambit power. Like using kinetic energy to control cards, but they don't blow up. She uses them like a whip. Spider-Man comes in with his with this he's in a pose, bro. It's so weird. It's kind of like he's like riding a glider, but he's like tucked down too much. It's weird. I just show you, Jay. But he grabs Paul. He dangles the building. Paul tells him to do what you got to do, and he says, "You know what? That works for me." He drops him, and then Craven shows up. Mary Jane saves Paul because of course she did. Only Peter can let people die when they fall off the cliff. Only Peter can fail at that.
Can I also bring up something here? I think I hate how like cookie cutter good guy Paul is. I would just like a little bit of fear in him. Like, oh God, please. Like,
I would like a little bit.
I feel like if you're gonna be the love interest to a superhero and you're not a superhero yourself, I feel like you get used to this.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. It's just like Paul.
Yeah, you gotta remember he's also like the son of the alternate universe demon thing or something.
Yeah.
I guess, like Paul feels like every time I hear about Paul, or even when I see him on the rare chance I glance at him, it's like he's such a like nothing character. That's just there.
What Paul is, he just lets things happen. Like whatever happens. If I die, I die. If I'm having sex with Mary Jane in front of Peter, I'm having sex with Mary Jane in front of Peter. It is what it is. You know?
Don't tell Peter that, bro.
It's not a thing that happens.
Like, I'm with him, Jay, but I don't really care. It's like whatever. Don't be like that. We're gonna say Austin.
I was never mind.
Okay.
Mary Jane saves Paul. Norman starts fighting. Well, Norman shows up and you see him being very remorseful, kind of guilt-ridden. He telling her Peter will be okay, and you see Norman look down. I'm gonna miss this era. I hate this book, but I'm gonna miss this era of Norman because I wish a better writer had the time. I feel like a better writer could have done with this. Peter takes off his mask to fight Craven, which is I know Craven knows who he is, but it's just kind of weird. Peter's eyes are going red and shit for no reason.
Oh, bloodshot red, man. He's just red with anger, you know?
Craven rips off his shirt and jacket and he jumps in to fight Spider-Man. But since Spider-Man, isn't holding his punches now, I guess, he just lays into Craven. He beats the dog crap out of Craven, Jake. He punches in the face. He slams him against the wall. He headbutts him, breaks his nose. He flips him. He throws him around. He gives him a. He kind of do like a reverse backbreaker. Like think about the Bane backbreaker, but it's Batman looking down instead of looking up at the sky.
That was 100% intentional from the artist and writer, you know?
Yep. Peter picks up Craven by the he slams Craven straight down into the ground. He picks Craven up again. And then Craven tries to break Peter's back. He squeezes Peter as hard as he can in a bear hug. It breaks Peter's back, I guess.
Mm-hmm.
At least, no. I won't say it breaks his back. It's what it looked like visually. Norman stabs Peter and gets the sins out of Peter. And then Peter seems okay. Mary Jane's holding him. Peter got his head in her titties. It's like, bro, they're not your girlfriend. You can't do that anymore.
Nah, bro, he's gotta get one when he can. He's gonna get one when he can, bro.
Let him have this moment, Austin. I mean, he already got dumped by Black Cat. Come on.
That was Peter's fault.
You see in the background, you see Norman put the spear down, and then it stops flowing. Mary Jane, Peter tries to apologize to Mary Jane. She's like, I understand, it's okay. I know it's not you. I don't know how many times we're going to have this conversation, but I feel like it happens every goddamn book now.
Got this for you.
You know, you could say it's not you.
Ever since like Superior Spider-Man, there's like one moment every book where Peter or someone dressed like Peter or something Peter can't control happens near Mary Jane. He has to apologize. She's like, okay,
no,
it's all good. I know it's not your fault.
It would be great if that's why Paul didn't freak out. Mary Jane was like, listen, now that we're together, there's probably going to be some time where Peter's going to have a freak out. He's going to show up at my house and like nearly kill me. It's okay. It's just let it happen. We'll figure it out.
I'm more mad they teased the whole Peter versus Mary Jane fight and it didn't really happen.
Yeah.
I don't want Peter to like beat the crap out of Mary Jane, but I think it would have been like at least made this run more memorable if that did happen.
Well, we don't want to Hank Pym
because you can't hype up something like that and like doesn't happen.
You don't want it to be like Hank Pym
but
oh, that's true.
He already did that. Peter didn't know. Jay, Peter has that same panel
right
where he backhands Mary Jane. And unlike Hank Pym, he's not affected by some crazy other shit. He's just not feeling well. Then no one cares.
But I feel like if they did it now, I don't know. If you see Peter just throwing hands on MJ, I feel like that's way more memorable than a backhand. You know what I mean? I'm just saying.
Well, look, bro, it's not his girlfriend. Okay? He's trying to fight the guy. You
can't argue that to the fans. In the fans' eyes, they'll always be like, man, you still check what happened. You know what I mean?
But I agree. But he tells Norman, you're free now. You don't have sins. You don't have sins. Well, you see the Goblin Queen creepily smiling at Norman because she knows the truth. It cuts to Norman and Peter talking. They're talking about guilt. How it never really goes away. And Peter's like, the only way to really get rid of guilt is go be, Spider-Man. Go do the best you can. Which is a lie. It's a lie, Peter. Stop believing that lie.
Yeah.
But as Norman sits there at his desk, he's thinking to himself, and he's like, I couldn't actually. The sins aren't in the scepter. They wouldn't stay in the scepter. They jumped into me. So now Norman is back, about to be the Green Goblin.
Yeah.
With one slight
and that's how the
chuckle.
book ends. Yep. He looks at his desk. You see the Green Goblin laughing, and then one last and then he covers his mouth in fear. And that's how this one ends.
I have a problem with this story.
I will never come back to this book again.
I think my problem with this Get Back is just a bunch of nothing. Oh, he bruised the ego of some of his villains. That's Peter's Get Back. He does that every day.
Well, if there's one thing to take away.
He hyped up. What?
Go ahead. No, go ahead.
I mean, the only real consequence and serious thing that came from this run is Norman becoming Green Goblin, who's already going to happen regardless. We all know that. That's comic books in general. But he almost killed a Tombstone, which I guess is going to be a big part of this game. No one cares. Like, no one actually cares. That's why I said the only thing you could have done to make this part memorable if he actually fought Mary Jane. That's the only thing that will stick with people, in a year.
I think my biggest issue too is like this also to me is an argument for like why not just have him commit to Black Cat at this point? Because it's like this kind of like maybe instead of like being like he's so obviously into MJ, maybe he's trying with Black Cat, but Black Cat doesn't pick up on it. But maybe like Peter every now and then he's thinking about MJ. And now when he has the goblin serum and everything, it's just coming out. And now he lashes out at MJ and MJ has to like be like, no, it's over, Peter. Like the final like nail in the coffin. And then we can just like carry on the Black Cat, just let it go. I don't know. I feel like I don't know. It feels like
it's not even like why Black Cat broke up. Or...
Say it again.
I think I've been fine with that if the reason like Black Cat was breaking up with him was because of the MJ stuff. But she broke up with him because after 60 years, he's finally accepted who she was, and then keep telling her to change who she was.
Oh.
After all the times we met, literally like the last run where you're telling me I can be more than what I am, you stopped. You didn't do it for 2 minutes, and I guess we don't deserve to be in a relationship because of that.
Yeah.
Oh, the spark is gone between
Randy.
and the spider. Yeah.
I wish they committed to that, where she just wants to chase and she realized she didn't want the actual life again. But still, that would have been better than this. Oh, you don't. You don't tell me to be a hero. Fuck you, Peter Parker.
Shit.
If there was one silver
lining over here, and we just see hostile.
Cool. If there was one silver lining, I did like this was kind of like a character moment for Kraven. You know, right before he does this whole, back snap to Peter, right? You see like that moment where Peter's like asking, "Why are you smiling?" And Kraven just goes on this whole speech like, "Hey, I'm actually grateful to you, Peter. You put me in the grave. You put me with the gun. You put me in a situation, the exact situation my father was at. And you just allowed me to see what I would do in that situation, and I didn't pull the trigger. I have conquered the darkness within me, and all this,
The thing is, though, he didn't. You just got beat up by Peter, and he put you in the grave. You was like, "Damn, I could have killed myself because I lost, but I didn't." Raven was satisfied with his victory. And then killed himself on his own terms. That's two different things, bro.
Unalive himself. You too.
Wait, what was that, Jake?
Hey, no, we're past the first few minutes, Jake. It's okay.
Yeah.
But yeah, I don't know.
Yeah,
other than that, the only major thing I like about this run, before we move on, is Green Goblin being a hero in the Gold Goblin, and kind of in this book, but mainly Gold Goblin and in the Red Goblin series with Normie.
Yeah,
it's actually pretty good. I actually really enjoyed Green Goblin. Well, I really enjoyed Norman Osborn as a person because that's something we haven't got in like 60 years. It's been so long since we got him pre-Goblin Serum. At any timeline where he is pre-Goblin Serum, it usually don't last that long. So we got this for a few months. He was fun. It was cool. I caught this a while back that he was probably just gonna end up taking a sense to save Peter, and then Peter was gonna feel guilty about it later when he finds out. And watch how right I am. So that's gonna be the very predictable thing we're gonna see later. But I really wish a different writer handled this storyline and could have did more with the storyline.
Who would you want to have handled this storyline?
I would have took Nick Spencer's way of handling at the very least. It was more like the last one. Well, I can't speak on Paul. There's nothing you could do to make Paul work as a character for fans. That was never going to be a time like that.
No one's ever going to like Paul. Like there has to, unless you're that one person out there out of 1,000 who's like, no, let's give Paul a chance.
Likes Paul.
Yes, he is that one person. There we go.
Paul isn't a character.
Yeah, it's always gonna be that one person like Paul is just like I like how he acts. Like,
Paul isn't even a character. He's just an obstacle to keep Peter from being happy. So it's like, what else?
Yeah. Paul feels like he was just made in spite of the fans who liked the last run before this.
Yeah.
It literally just felt like want to piss off the fans who like the Nick Spencer and the go beyond art for Spider-Man.
Gotcha.
But I feel like a lot of this stuff could have worked on a better writer, man. Nick Spencer, Chip Zdarsky in his side books and life story. Uh, even I feel like even Dan Slott could have did better with some of this stuff. Along with Dan Slott
Ooh.
can hold himself back from going full on Dan Slott. Dan Slott has really good issues,
Uh-huh.
but other than that, man, I'll never come back to this book. I don't care what the finale is. I really don't. The finale
Yeah.
could be literally the undoing of Mary Jane's deal with Mephisto and them getting married again. I would not read this book.
I have no idea what the next arc is after this. I mean, we get the cover for the
It's
next
Gang War,
issue.
remember?
Oh, it's going to be
It's
Gang
Gang
War
War.
immediately? Oh, okay.
Yeah,
Well,
we're setting up Tombstone versus Hammerhead versus all the gangs fighting.
oh, dang. In that case, I do have to read this book for that event then. So, sorry, guys. Looks like we're not done with this run.
Why?
Yeah. You would think, wait, Gang War is being written by Zeb Wells,
Wait,
right?
why do you want to read it?
No, I mean, like, for content, because I would assume, like, this would be a tie-in for Gang War, wouldn't it?
Well, Gang War don't start till January, so we got time to not read the book.
Ah, okay. All right. Well, if we have a break in between, yeah, I guess we could give Amazing Spider-Man a rest then. So, alrighty then. Well, with that, audience,
At worst, we might replace it with spine tingling Spider-Man, depending on how good that is.
or another version of Spider-Man. Wouldn't you say a superior Spider-Man?
Because I'm gonna kill you one of these days.
Better men than you have tried, which. So let's move on to the next
I'll
topic.
find where you live in Jersey.
Okay, so now we're moving on to the Superior Spider-Man Returns #1.
I want to unalive. Audience, if this is my last episode, you know why.
Okay, I just gotta say, if you liked the Superior Spider-Man character, his twerps, his voice, this issue exemplifies all of that. Everything you will want Superior Spider-Man is here. So, and it's also a bit new reader friendly since it's Otto. Dr. Octopus. He's trying to figure out the equation that he missed when he was Superior Spider-Man. He felt like he was onto something, but because his mind got erased from his life as Superior Spider-Man, it's just burning him. Like, what happened? I know I was able to solve a very important equation, but what is it? What is it? Well, here he finds the clues, right? He goes by one of his old labs, and that's when he finds out what the equation was. It was actually the equation for self-sustaining energy. The power of the sun in the palm of my hands, and that stuff, right? He solved it when he was Superior Spider-Man, and this is a story of how he did it. So you get a flashback to back when he was Spider-Man, and he's tangling with, wouldn't you guess, another villainous speedster by the name of Slide. So of course he tries stopping him, and Slide, assumes he's getting the upper hand on Peter by, avoiding him, this and that. But Otto, he's like playing 3D chess in this. He's like saying, "You imbecile, I don't need to catch you. I just need to make sure you're running in the direction I want you to run." Because he had like a whole webbed wall in this one corner of the street just waiting for Slide. Slide was too late to, avoid it, and he ended up bouncing off of that web wall and into the water. And there's some science mumbo jumbo here. Apparently, the suit works by friction, and because of that, the dude's going to drown unless he takes off the suit.
Take off the suit.
Oh wow, this like his life is in the palm of Otto's hands. Like, may not be the son, but it's this bad guy's life. So,
Let them
would
all
you know?
die.
Yep. So Slide ends up doing it. Otto webs him up, and like once the police come, Otto tells them what happened, saying that the precious tritium that Slide stole, it fell into the water, so it's not going to be able to be found. But Slide is there saying, "Wait, what? No, 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 officers, listen to me. No, no, it did not fall in the water. Spider-Man grabbed the tritium and put it in his pocket." And then Otto just webs up his mouth, saying, "Oh, who are the officers going to believe? A villain or me, Spider-Man?"
Hey,
Ooh. I just love how brilliant Otto is,
I don't
how
know.
how 3D chess he is, So he grabs that trinium, he goes back to Horizon's lab. He's like with the resources they had there, he's conducting another experiment, but he realizes, wait, if I were to make this machine work in Horizon Labs, then it doesn't matter if I'm the one who created it. Horizon Labs will be getting all the credit for it, or at least the ownership of it. So, he takes all the equipment he can to a hideout to conduct experiments on this. And he also has his girlfriend, like Anna Maria, uh, recommend somebody who could possibly help him in his studies. This promising young student by the name of Estrella Lopez, who knows a thing, or who's studying to become, like, who studies stars or whatever, or energy. She's smart, is what I'm trying to say. So Peter directs her to Spider-Man, and Spider-Man requests that she work for him, that she could be a valuable part of this organization. Oh, and also, here's your henchman suit. And she's like, wait, what? I thought we were going to be partners. Oh no, you're just as crucial to this organization as anybody, number 23. Like, oh,
Oh, is this the book where Peter Parker's evil?
well, this is flashbacking to where Otto is in the body of Spider-Man.
Oh, okay, okay, okay.
Yeah. So, yeah, number 23, wear your henchman costume and work with all the other henchmen. But don't worry, you're still a crucial part in our organization. you know? So, after a while, they do finally proceed with the experiment, and unfortunately, it ends up being a failure, right? And Otto's like frustrated, he's angered, he's pissed. Like, what is wrong with the equation? It all should be brilliant. How could this go wrong again? What am I missing? And then that's when you have Estrella in the background saying, have you ever tried using the inverse of the harmonic frequency to initiate the core reaction? And then that's when Otto is like saying, wait, I have it! What if I use the inverse of the harmonic frequency too? Yes, yes, that's the answer! I finally solved it! And all the henchmen are like, yeah, you go, boss! And Estrella's there like, what? I just told you that equation. And Otto's just passing it off as if he's the one who, solved the formula. And then he's like, okay, now I have to celebrate. Brain, call in a reservation at the Green Tavern for two. And you have Estrella there, like saying, "Oh wow, I've always wanted to go there. That's one of the fanciest places in all of New York. I remember as a kid, I would stand outside of that restaurant, just gazing at it, hoping to one day." And Superior Spider-Man's like, "Oh no, I meant for me and my girlfriend. You all you henchmen, just stay here and just clean up after yourselves." Like, damn. So during the date between Otto and Anna Maria, that's when Estrella is like, you know what? Screw this. What's the old saying? Oh, hold on. Let me bring up that saying. Do 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 do. Oh yeah. What's the old saying? Well-behaved women seldom make history. You know, I'm going to be I'm going to be cracking this this universal sun energy here before Spider-Man does. So she's left alone in the lab. She does experiments with the. She proceeds with the experiment on the trinium, and unfortunately, an accident happens. She drops the experiment, and an explosion happens. And wouldn't you know it, she becomes the star. She becomes the power of the sun.
But not a million songs like the century.
But just one is enough, man. All you need is one good one by a superior Spider-Man.
That's true.
But anyway, so Otto comes in his superior Spider-Man costume, and he's like, "What have you done, you imbecile? I am so disappointed in you, little girl. You intended to steal my thunder by using this to attack me." And I just can't help but see the irony in this. Otto didn't want to do this in Horizon Labs because they would get all the credit for his work. Yet Estrella is the one who cracked the code to this equation in Otto's leadership, and now he's trying to get all the credit for this. Well,
What a jerk.
Hey, he's a superior being, man. So anyway, Estrella gives like this whole speech about how, hey, this power is now mine. I'm the one who solved the equation. This is my birthright. This is power is owed to me. And also it's owed for you to burn, Spider-Man. She tries battling Otto, and god dang, Otto is starting to realize, dude, I can't beat her. Like, his tentacles get destroyed by her. He tries shooting his webbing at her, but the webbing just eviscerates into ash before it even makes contact with her. So she's like, dude, I am unlimited power here. There's nothing you can do, Spider-Man. And Superior Spider-Man gives off this like whole rambling, right? No, little girl, do you know what this means? You are moments away from exploding, and you're about to take all of the city with you. I've conducted the math. This is not going to end well. You are a star, and you are going to blow up. Oh, and she didn't believe him at first, only until Otto actually tries running away. Because in Otto's words, he's like saying, okay, if the whole town's going to blow up, I'm going to go to the one bunker in this laboratory that'll keep me safe. And that's when Estrella realizes, oh, wait, you're not joking? Wait, I'm seriously going to die? Oh, no, hell no. If I die, I'm making sure I'm taking you with me, Spider-Man. You're the one that did this to me. So she follows Superior Spider-Man and corners him and eviscerates him, only to find out that was actually a hologram. Yeah, what Otto actually did was just corner her into the one cell that was meant to contain the power of the star.
Ooh.
And Otto's like, checkmate, my lady. Ooh. And she, of course, flips out. She's like saying, what? Wait. So all that stuff you said about me exploding was a lie? And Otto's like saying, we'll all die someday. I wasn't lying. And yes, you will explode one day, but not for another 3.2 billion years. Enjoy the containment, little girl. Like, no! Wow. That is just cruel science, man. Like, so anyway, Otto gets his henchmen to come up, right? And they commence work on further sealing this cell. And they're all like saying, "Hey, boss, shouldn't we like be giving her food or something?" And Otto's like, "Ah, you imbeciles! Do you serve tea to a son?" Okay, now the most important thing here is I'm down one henchman. Number 17, go find a replacement for number 23 and make sure they know their place. Like, so yeah, that's the end of that flashback, and now you come back to the present time, right? Where Otto, with just fragments of his memory coming back to him, he's now back at that same exact lab. He's like tinkering with some stuff. He's planning on building a laser for his next fighting against Spider-Man, right? And then that's when he tries opening up the cell that he locked Supernova in. Oh, by the way, that's going to be your supervillain name, Supernova, right?
Hi, Comic.
And oop, yay, Comic Con's here. All right, so as he's doing experiments, he opens the cell, and that's when Supernova finally gets free. She's like, "Say, I am free. I have been trapped in there with nothing to hear, nothing to touch, nothing to see. The only thing that's been keeping me sane is my vengeance against Spider-Man." And Otto is there, like freaked out of his mind, and it all just comes back to him. "Oh my God, I'm the one who locked you in there. Please don't kill me. I beg you." And then she's like, "What? Why would I want to kill you? You're not Spider Man." That one, she flies off and she's going after Spider Man. And Otto is just there saying, "Oh, that didn't go as I expected, but you know what? Okay, fair enough. She's going after Spider Man. Good luck, Wallcrawler."
That was awful. Imagine Peter just like depressed about everything that just happened, and some random girl comes up to his house. I'm Spider-Man.
Like before he even makes it back from that whole Spider-Man who glides arc, he tries going back to his apartment, and then damn, Estrella's there waiting for him. Oh, that was cruel. This was cruel science at its work here. Like Otto got what he wanted at least.
Like, is it just like Doc Ock remembering Spider-Man, his Spider-Man shit, or is it just gonna be like, is he actually gonna be Spider-Man again?
That's a question, honestly, because I know Superior Spider-Man's going to get his comic back, but nothing in the lead up that we've had indicated that Otto was going to go back to being Superior Spider-Man.
Right.
If anything, it's almost going to be like, I guess it would be like the ghost or the soul of Superior Spider-Man. It's just coming back, but Otto is not going to go back to, donning the suit again. He's still going to be Doc Ock. I don't know how they're going to make that work, but hey, I'm going to join the ride. This was an amazing issue. 10 out of 10 right here. Any thoughts, guys?
Sounds like a fun issue. I like the ending though. The ending was funny.
Oh, man. Yeah. But anyway, so yeah, that's it for Superior, guys, until number 1 comes out in a short while. All right, Witch, it's all you, man.
Perfection. Anyways, I'm going to be talking about Captain Marvel Assault on Eden, number 1. I think this is a one-shot, but it really does not matter. Yeah, the only reason why I'm reading this is and hopefully RNA. That's the only reason why I actually care. Anyways, so it starts off with a little flashback of Carol going to see, like, you know how, like, people go to watch, like, rockets go up to space? Oh, yeah, she was doing that, even though her dad disapproved. And then we cut to Carol going to the Kree-Skrull Alliance to plant Hala one night. And she stops by this one place where they adopted the making of coffee because Billy likes coffee.
Aw.
So that's pretty cool. And Carol makes this little kid laugh or whatever, and the little kid goes to hug her, which is pretty sweet, you know. But it's all
Mhm.
good. Carol gets the coffee. She meets up with Billy and Teddy. It's all fine and dandy. You know, the Kree Skrull Alliance are doing pretty well. You know,
Mhm.
I swear Marvel would have been losing his shit if he knew about this. Anyways, so they reveal a statue dedicated to Teddy's mother. You know, the woman that basically raised him before she died. R.I.P. You
Yep.
know, it's a pretty emotional moment. And then we see some freaking Kree sentries pull the fuck up, and I'm like, what the fuck? How the hell did we get here? Which we'll find out later. And also these like zombified Kree accusers pull up, and they're kidnapping a whole bunch of the Kree and Skrull kids, mostly the Kree kids, but you know what I mean. And so they get Teddy as well, you know, and his ring falls off because whatever, it's fine. And so then Billy just goes off. Like, he's about to, like, destroy reality as we speak if it wasn't for Carol. So she's
Oh
basically
yeah.
like, yo, don't worry. I'll get him back. I'll give him the ring. You can pull the hell up, you know? You know,
Yeah.
Billy was, like, gonna, like, crack open in a freaking universe over here. Which, finally, we're getting some demiurge action. How long has it been? Way too long? I agree. Anywhoosies. So Carol explains that what the supreme intelligence was and what these like three sentinels were and all that other stuff. And so she finds this like green cube thingy out in space, right?
Mhm.
And we see that the kids that were kidnapped were put into these pods, and Teddy was like put into this like torture experimental thingy. Don't worry about
Oh,
weird
it was
ring.
gruesome, honestly. You know,
Yeah, don't
seeing
worry about
pin,
it. He's
yeah,
fine.
seeing pinned to a table like that, looking like they're ready to perform experiments on him, a vivisection. You know. Yeesh.
Yeah, no, it's not fun at all, you know? And
Mhm.
guess what? Teddy actually curses.
Yeah.
That was weird.
No, this kind of reminds me of, I don't know if you recall when Young Avengers had like a tie in Civil War. There was one moment where, yes, Teddy was being experimented on,
I
like right in
remember
front of
that. I
Billy.
remember that.
Yes.
Yeah. And Billy was trying to use his magic, but he couldn't because he couldn't hear himself think
Mhm.
because the scientist in question put these like things in his ears.
Yep.
And it wasn't just Billy and Teddy, it was also I think it was like
The
Carolina Dean and also Zavin. I can't remember if it was Carolina specifically, but
Yep.
don't worry. They're all fine.
Yep.
You
I think
know?
this was like, yeah, I think this was like, their way of like, kind of reinventing that scene, because in that scene, uh Wiccan, he cursed, like, he was enraged as to what happened, which anybody would in that situation. And then
Especially if you are a very powerful being of the universe.
oh yeah.
Anyways, let's get back to it.
Mhm.
So basically, they have to like cleanse all these like three scroll children so that they can like fight each other again. But don't worry, Carol pulls up. She's like, "Hey, can I join? Like, can I join y'all?" And Carol is like, "Yeah." She's like, "Yeah, whatever." And she's able to get Teddy out of the thing, you know. And but then they still take the kids. They put the kids into the dead like accusers or whatever the fuck. And so they get basically brainwashed into fighting Teddy and Carol, which that's not fun for anyone, you know. And plus, they can't really hurt the kids, you know, because they're kids. It's not my
Yep.
fault that they're freaking being brainwashed over here. But don't worry, Teddy gets his ring back. Billy pulls up. It's all fine and dandy. They like save the day. But then Carol is like literally looking back through her entire history for the most part. Carol's like, what the hell's happening over here? Like, what are you doing? You know? But like, don't worry. She breaks out of it. You know, it's Carol. Whatever. It's fine. And she basically goes binary up in here. And everyone's able to save the kids. It's all good. They get back to the Kree-Skrull homeworld. I don't know why Billy is wearing a short sleeve now instead of his long sleeve, but it's fine. Don't worry. And everything goes back to normal. Billy and Teddy get to drink their freaking coffee while they're cuddling and watching the sunrise with Carol. It's great. Oh, and I forgot to mention for all you Hulkling Sims, basically for most of this issue, he was in his underwear. Just letting you know now. And that's the end of the main story, by the way. But we get a secondary story with Monica. Cryptid, do you want to talk about this one, or do you want me to go start?
Nah, this is all you, man. Go for
Okay.
it.
So we see Monica. You know, she's cooking some dinner or whatever. It looks pretty good. Cooking with pasta, something with some green onions, some meat. I'm apparently. It's all good. And so then she gets a call from her dad. And he's like, "Yo, I was watching the news. You all good?" And she's like, "Yeah, don't worry. I just had a little, a little excursion up in space. It's all good." And then speaking of the incursion in space, she sees like this cloud thing, and she's like, "Oh, hello, cloud person. Welcome to my human territory." Yeah. And this guy's like speaking in like some other language that I don't even know how to pronounce, but it's all fine. You know, and basically, this cloud being like basically engulfs her and whatever. So, but don't worry, she's able to break free from it because she has powers of flight, so it's all good. And then she was able to get rid of the cloud person because keep in mind, this story takes place before the Hellfire Gala from this year, so that's why you have Sword involved. So that's pretty bougie. But then yeah, it ends up like that. Monica is like sitting on the couch eating her dinner, and yeah, that's basically the end of that. Well, for the most part, because then we get to like a small history of Monica. It's all good. And then we meet up with Doctor Strange and Wong, where Monica is gonna be hanging out with him for a little bit. And she brings like this box thing with like this orb in it. It's pretty cool looking, not gonna lie. And so Wong is like putting in a place, like at a safe place, so that no one like steals it. It's all good. And so they notice something's wrong, and so then all three of them, for the most part, mostly just Monica, they go outside and they think it's like weird robot thing with like stretchy limbs, kind of similar to Kamala and Mr. Fantastic. So that's pretty cool. And she's like, I don't care. I'm gonna fight this thing right after like Strange is like, yo, is anyone we know? Like, what's happening? But don't worry. And that's where it actually is. Yeah. So yeah, it was pretty good.
It was a good issue. One thing, after reading this book, it just makes me wonder why Marvel isn't just going ahead and giving Wicked and Hulkling at least a mini series, because I feel like they have to share a guest star appearance in other books. Like if it wasn't for this, it was the Guardians Galaxy last week, and I'm pretty sure a couple other comics before.
They are confident it'll sell, probably.
I will hope they would sell.
Well, they're the most prolific queer couple in Marvel right now, so I believe it would sell.
Yeah. Like, come on, Marvel, seriously? Go for it,
Don't be cowards.
But yeah, another thing that this issue kind of brought to mind, right? How tied together you would see the history between Carol and Teddy would be, and that also just kind of makes me wonder. Okay, in the MCU, when we get the Marvels, it wouldn't it have been appropriate if we had Teddy pop up in a Captain Marvel movie?
I mean, there is a possibility, but I think it would be more in like a post-credit scene than the main movie, if you catch my drift.
I mean, I will hope so. I mean, you would think Teddy would have popped up in Secret Invasions, but they missed that ball. But yeah.
No, you would think, but they don't do what we actually want, anyways. But no, another cool thing that I forgot to mention in the book was that the reason why, basically, another reason why Billy and Teddy wear their wedding rings besides the fact that they're married is because it was made from Captain Marvel's bands, the ones that he wears.
Yeah.
So they basically made those into wedding rings for them so that they can always, like, when they need each other, they can teleport to each other in, like, dire situations like in this.
Yep.
So, I mean, they basically brought that up in the book. I think it was, like, Annihilation or something like that, like The Last Annihilation or something like that.
Mm-hmm.
It's like the book where they like explaining how they actually met and all this other stuff. So I thought that was a pretty cool thing as well.
Yeah.
Also, the fact that freaking Billy was gonna go ham on some people, I was like, yes, kill people. It didn't actually kill people.
Gotcha. Oh, reading the comments, Ace Austin saying, I can't get back in, so I'm done for tonight.
And I will see you
North
later.
Star, North Star and Kyle clears Teddy. Mystique and Destiny clears. Teddy had no reason to be in Secret
Thank you,
Invasion.
Austin.
He's only half Skrull, and his mom died in the 90s. He's most likely with the Creed or alone.
You make a valid point there, but we'll figure out how he is going to have Squirrel. Also, the Mystique and Destiny and the North Star and Kyle one, I'm waiting for them to let JP have another freaking miniseries or like a solo book. Because I believe he can carry a miniseries or a solo book. It's just Marvel are cowards.
Mm-hmm.
And they don't want me to win. So, one of these days,
Gotcha. But anyway, okay, so that's it for the Captain Marvel comic. So let's talk about the last comic of the night. Avengers number 6. Dang, Austin, I wish you were here with me because we both like this book.
he could be in the comments.
Okay. Yeah, this is a consistently good book, and we needed that after the whole situation of Jason Aaron's Avengers run. In case the audience needs to be up to date, right now, the Avengers are having to deal with. I guess they're like the Twilight Court, the people who are going after Kang, right? They have like a bunch. They have like final boss type characters all around the world at the moment, and they even have a living ship. And the Avengers have to split, and it's not an easy fight. You have Thor fighting a god who looks like a Kingdom Heart character, like an owl, who gets her power off by the worshippers around her area, who also will get hurt if she gets hurt. Or you have the situation with Vision, right? He's fighting Motherboard, who has an endless supply of soldiers inside her that she's captured from numerous other planets, and of course she was looking to add Vision to her collection, long hard fight. And heck, even their spaceship that's outside in space at the moment, that's being dealt with by Sam Wilson and T'Challa. Yeah, it's an actual living ship, a living battleship. So yikes. In this, you basically get the resolve of all the fights. You have Thor, right? Facing off against this god who's getting powered by her worshippers, who she's hypnotizing, this and that. And Thor is like, worship. Oh, you feed off of it, idolize it, weaponize it. But I am a god who has never required worship.
No.
I didn't need worship to fight, is basically what he's saying. I have only ever needed the thunder. And he was actually able to give a mild zap to the people around the area, enough to just knock them out. So now that the citizens are knocked out, she doesn't have anybody to take all the damage with her. And that's how Thor, goes to town and beats the crap out of this goddess. And then you go back to Iron Man, right, who's fighting off against this other figure who can manipulate the landscape, who's one with the landscape. Audience, if you're familiar with One Piece, this is basically the guy who ate the island fruit, right? At this point, the bad guy thinks he has Tony cornered. He has already declared victory. He has Tony pretty much buried in his stone structures. But then that's when Tony activates the last minute protocol he added to his suit, which was mimicking Vision's phasing powers. Oh, Austin says the Impossible City. Yep, I think that's the name of the battleship these guys own. And yeah, so Tony used this opportunity, believing that this bad guy, he was going to gloat if he believed he won. So that's when he activated his phasing powers to go and knock out this bad guy. It's hard to remember their names, audience, but they're powerful. All right, is what I'm trying to say. Even Scarlet Witch, who's fighting her bad guy, his powers basically revolve around the dead energy in the area. And what does Wanda do? She teleports both of them to the Antarctic.
That's where Bobby is.
Yeah, not only that, but that's also where there's no life around for miles.
No, there's Bobby and Romeo. They're chilling out in freaking Antarctica right now. Have you not been paying attention to the Iceman book?
Yeah, well, Antarctica is a big place, so let's just say Bobby and Romeo are in the north side, and Scarlet Witch and this guy are in the south side. All right,
Or because your favorite Captain America shows up in the Iceman.
Beep beep. But anyway, so you get back to what's it called Vision, right? He's being pinned. He's being overwhelmed, and that's when basically this motherboard, right, comes up to Vision, like trying to say, "I am what I was created to be, nothing else. But you are a thing of wonder, Vision. Who created you?" And Vision's like, if synthetics like us can be said to have a Satan, it will be my father, Ultron. His code is poisonous and mad, and it lives in me. So have a taste of it. As he bonds his circuits with with the motherboard circuits. And damn, that's a nice way of defeating her, right? So all the Avengers are pretty much taking down their bad guys, and luckily, and I like Vision's MVP moment here, right? When the motherboard was on the ground, like all defeated, damaged, she's like saying, "What did you do to me?" You have Vision saying, "Yeah, look, I exposed you to the most volatile code base ever known to synthetic life. Even one generation removed, my father's madness is hidden in me, among the ones and the zeros. Were I human, I would say it is in my blood. But there's something else I want to tell you. I have been programmed to be every bit as cruel as you, Meridian Diadem, if not worse. The difference is I refuse the purpose written in my code, just as the organics refused theirs, be it written in the stars or in their own DNA." I'm like, aw, you go, Vision. Let's see.
Go off, King. We don't care.
Gotcha. Ace is saying the villains aren't the Twilight Court. The Twilight Court is who they took the city from. See, Austin, this is you here to help some clarification here. All right. But anyway, so going back, you're with Captain America, Black Panther, right? In the midst of the ship, and they had already set their bombs in place, right? And they set them off, but it wasn't to destroy the ship. It was actually to destroy the chains, because you see, the ship itself was enslaved by these beings. So now the ship is free. So, once you have all the Avengers, they gathered up all the bad guys, secured them, put them in like crystal chambers and this and that. They asked the ship, the Impossible City, right? So what do you want to do now? You're free. And the Impossible City says, I have decided I would like to be an Avenger.
Da, da,
So
da,
a living ship and no, a living city is now part of the Avengers.
da.
Hey,
I
anyone
like this.
can be an Avenger at this point. Don't judge the man or
Yeah,
ship, I should
yeah,
say.
yeah. Well, this is gonna be their new headquarters for a while, and I like this a hell of a lot better than what happened in the last Avengers run where their hideout was a Celestial's body. And you guys know how I feel about Celestials, so
They're a
yeah.
bitch.
That's something me and Witch can at least agree on. Austin is saying best Avengers base so far. Yeah, I can't wait to see more of this, where this series goes. The writer Jed McKay, dude, you're doing a consistently good job with this run. Keep up the momentum. So yeah, that's pretty much how the issue ends.
Okay. Well,
Um,
sounds like a
well,
solid, fun time. So,
yay!
what should I?
Alrighty, guys, plug in our socials, Witch.
Hello, I'm here to plug in socials. As always, subscribe to the channel and turn on the bell because I said so.
Leave a
I'll be
comment.
sending Austin to your house. Don't think I won't.
Oh.
Um,
Austin is saying X-Men got a living island, Avengers got a living city in orbit.
why
Yeah.
not?
Amen. Yay.
Anyways, going
Also,
back to it, you can follow the Twitter at Comic Fanatic 69. Please guess whose Halloween costumes, like what our Halloween costumes are gonna be. So that'll be fun. Place your guesses. There are hints in the post, so you're all good to go.
Also-
Feel free to follow the Instagram at Comic Fanatic 2.0. We do post things on there. So yeah, and also shut up, Austin. Anyways, you can follow me on Twitter at Witch of Jotun with an E instead of a U. You get the gist at this point. You can also follow me on TikTok and Instagram at witch_of_Jotunheim. If I said so. Don't try to find Austin. He'll find you. That's the whole point of this. Don't even try to find the old man cryptid or Jake. Because I said so. And also, boo you, Austin. At least I can have a decent internet connection.
Also, don't forget to like and leave a comment to help us in the algorithm. Share the video. And
You could dislike it too. It helps the
you
algorithm.
can,
anyways.
but it'll hurt somebody's feelings. I don't know. And also, if you haven't, make sure you subscribe. Just do that,
and
please.
put on notifications because we do post every week, at
Click
least once a week.
that bell.
No, you gotta beat the crap out of the bell.
Beat it. Just beat it. Just beat it.
All right. Beat it all, audience. Bye.
Bye. Go watch the FNAF movie.